Sonny.
Oh, no, that was you sneaking back there? Sure.
I need one of y'all. Come on now.
First of all, let me say welcome to our residents and to our guests tonight to the City Council meeting for Garfield Heights. Today being Monday, March the 11th, 2024. Current time, we're a little behind, but 7:04. So again, let me welcome you to the Garfield Heights City Council meeting. At this time, we will begin our City Council meeting with our invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Councilman Mark Smith.
If everyone may stand to their feet at this time, please. Eternal God, our Father, we come now thanking and praising you for this opportunity to lift you up in our business. We ask that you be with us as we are going through this particular portion of this evening in this particular meeting. Lord God, we ask that you be with each and every one of us that are gathered here right now. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please turn your attention at this time to the flag and allow us to salute the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
All right, Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Collier.
Here.
Ms. Mack. Here. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Present.
Ms. Coniston. Here. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Ms. Rose. Here.
We have a quorum. All right. At this time, can we have a reading and disposal of our last meetings, please?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kelly.
I make a motion, we dispose of our council minutes for Monday, February 26th, accept them as written.
It's been so moved. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded by Councilwoman Collier. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? Been so moved. At this time, is there any written communications to council? Any written communications to council? There's no written communications. Are there any committee reports at this time? There is no committee reports. We'll move right along to reports of the mayor and or directors at this time.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a rather short, hopefully a short report. I'm trying to speak fast, but just wanted to let everybody know, I met a young man named Tyler Gardella who wants to be a police officer one of these days, and wants to be a police officer in the city of Garfield Heights. He lives in Garfield Heights. The problem is he's 14 years old. Okay, and he's not allowed to ride along with the officers. So I said, well, why don't you jump in the mayor's car? We'll go ride around together. And I'll tell you, I had a pleasant time with this fine young man. He asked so many questions. And we were out on the beat with the officers, and some of them had a chance to interact with them. What shocked me is that he already knows a lot of them, because he's very passionate about this. So he's got to know a lot of our officers. So that was nice. But one of the things I want to talk about, you learn something from people on this. We went to sit with the dispatchers, and we sat with them for a good half an hour. And I got to see where we've put cameras along Turney Road. And I got to see what these cameras can do. So they showed me, and I think Showcase was not open at the time, but they showed me how they can zoom right into the front door of the showcase, right to the front door to see if somebody is like causing a problem. They can really zoom in clearly and identify who that person is. And that was very positive for me because we invest a lot of money in that type of stuff, a lot of taxpayer money, and I just want to make sure that it's working. And I mean, they showed me all the way up and down Turney Road where we can see everything. And it's something that we're just going to expand on, you know. And there's other areas where we have cameras as well. They showed me, but the most impressive thing was Turney Road. And the reason why is because we get a lot of people that complain about the youth, and they're walking up and down the street and creating problems. I got a letter today from a resident, and the basis of the letter that the resident sent me was basically, why don't we hold the parents accountable? Why don't we have stiffer penalties and fines and things like that? And I don't know if the resident is aware that there's only so much we can do here. There's certain laws that supersede our laws, and so until the state and federal level makes these laws and gives us an opportunity to enforce them, there's not much that we can do in that respect. So I wanted to key on what are some of the things we can do, right? And I bring this up only because on Friday, which is supposed to be the day that I take off, I end up working all day Friday. And probably about 2:00 in the afternoon, I get a phone call from Coach Sonny Johnson, who's in the audience, and I'll invite him up in a minute to speak. But he told me that he was at our tennis courts facility over there next to our pool. And he said, you got to come take a look at this, Mayor, because this would be a great space to have some basketball courts. Now, I'm open to all kinds of suggestions. And so I drove over there and met Coach Johnson. Coach Johnson, I know I didn't want to take away from the fact that our boys just won the district championship, correct? So, but I mean, I'm glad you're here. But could you actually come up and just explain some of the observations you saw at the tennis courts and what you feel that could be for the community?
Yeah, so, look, come up
Sure,
here,
come on up to the microphone.
How y'all doing? All right, everybody. Just, thank you for, having me here too. I mean, to come, but, I've been here for, probably over 20, I've been 20 something, I went to Garfield Heights. So, but, I am the basketball coach, and this is not a basketball matter, because you can look at it like, hey, he's the basketball coach, and this is what he wants to get done. I also talked to the mayor about other sports, football. I talked to him about flag football. I talked to him about things that our kids in our community is doing. Right now, we have, as far as the baseball team, we don't have a freshman team. We don't have a JV team. We have 11 kids that's playing baseball. And at one point in time, this entire community was a baseball community. This entire community was a wrestling community. I mean, when I was here, wrestling was the biggest thing in this entire community. It was nothing bigger than wrestling. I was in the high school wrestling, got everything that they needed to be very successful, and they deserved that. Even as baseball as well. But right now, to say you don't have 11 kids to have a varsity baseball team because of our community has changed and people are not going out. I just thought honestly, I put it on my heart from God, to be honest with you, because I'm just like y'all. I'm in the community. I see the kids walking up, fighting at Taco Bell, fighting at the Subway, or getting into confrontations at Subway. You see the kids at the library. I mean, the library is the hangout spot in our community. It's the hangout spot. Why? Because there's nothing to do. All right, when I say nothing to do, yes, we have a nice restaurant, we have a pool, But what these kids are doing in this community now, what do they play? And I'm gonna say that the minority kids, they play football and they play basketball. And I'm gonna say that right now, I'm a basketball coach. And when I drove up there, as long as I'm here, I promise you, every kid that comes through my program will have opportunity to get a scholarship to play for free. And I look at it as kids, and I'm not just saying that. Last year I had 4 seniors, all 4 seniors went to school for free. This year we got 5 seniors. All 5 seniors are not planning to go to school. It's not a phone call in the country. Honestly, I promise you this, that I can't make from any college in the country. We have Ohio State come to our gym. We have Michigan come to our gym. We have North Carolina. We have Duke. We have all the top programs, coaches in the entire country come to Garfield Heights. So with that being said is, I'll put it to you like this. If you got 40 kids walking the streets, right? 40 kids with nothing to do, but then you give them an option, you might have 20 out of the 40 that like playing basketball or like playing. I told you about putting 2 basketball courts and putting a volleyball court next to it. I mean, I'm not a basketball guy, whatever, or tennis, 1 tennis court, 2 basketball courts. It's so much room to do so many great things with that. I walked up, I got up there and I looked and I could not believe how beautiful it was. I mean, but it was nothing there. It was nothing there. And I'm telling you right now, if we're able to put 2 courts there with whatever else you want, because you have a skating ring, a skateboard facility that nobody uses but 4 people. And that is not, right now, that's not our community. It is not. It's not our community at all. So with that being said, we have so much to do. We have so much we can do. And this is just the start of something that's going to be greater. It's a move. It's a step in the right direction. With at least having it where it's at the rec center, something's at the rec center. It's monitored. You have people that's overseeing it. You have something where, hey, we open the gates from 11 to 8 at night. And then we got supervision there. And we're watching those kids. Not saying this, I put you like this, mayor. One of the mayor's concerns is, hey, man, you know, you got neighbors that might be upset. You know, kids right now, we're fighting. Me and the mayor looked at each other and you know what? We say what? They're doing it anyway. They're getting in trouble. They're doing everything anyway with nothing to do. So if you take 40 kids that's walking up and down the street with nothing to do, and you take 20 that wants to do something, now you got 20 kids that are doing nothing, you got 40 kids that are being active doing something. So we have to give these kids opportunity and a chance to like have something. This summer's coming up. These are the worst times. You know, it's nothing to do. The kids are at home, parents are at work, but we can provide them with something. And I think providing them with something, I'm happy you're here, Mayor, because at the end of the day, you know, it's not, I think Mayor Colombo went and we walked around before he left, I think we walked around the rec center and we was talking about putting up courts in the facility in there. I mean, that was a vision. He was sounding good to me, to be honest with you, but it was sounding real good, but we never got to that. I think he retired and things like that. But at the end of the day, timing is everything. And at the end of the day, this community's changing, and it's time for a change, and it's time to give these kids a shot to try to do something better for them. And at the end of the day, say it in our community. Right now, we're pretty heavy, strong basketball-wise. All right, and I think everybody knows that. I'm not saying that to my horn or anything like that, but it's the truth. So if you give these kids an opportunity to really go somewhere, think about this. I've been here for years. Anything that goes on basketball-wise, I have to do. You talking about from 3rd grade all the way, from kindergarten all the way up into to high school, okay? Because what we used to have, it was futsal. We used to do futsal, things like that, but that changed. Nobody's doing futsal no more. So right now, we talked about doing some indoor football, flag football, some indoor stuff for just adjusting to our community, but giving them this opportunity. Because I'm promising, if these kids grow up and play ball here, and they stay in this community and they're really good, I promise you, once time they get to me, I promise you they'll have opportunity to follow their education and career. Because I think most of the kids in our community, when they come to the high school and they play for me, they feel they have a shot to get out. they have a shot to go and do some, at a college level, or they're just not playing for me just to play. They playing thinking like coach is gonna make sure that, I get the best opportunity to do something. And I just want to come up here and say that I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about these kids. I work with them every day. And I just think it's time for us to, like I'm gonna say, forget giving me a shot, giving any of y'all a shot, giving these kids a shot, with supervision.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, when I got this phone call and I looked at it and I said, everything the coach is telling me is everything that I'm reading in this 90-some page document, which was our parks master plan. And what I'm reading is that the surveys that we took from the community at large, the people that actually filled out the surveys, whether it was here at the Civic Center or online, and we did a lot of promotion to try to get information. The number one thing the residents are asking for is basketball courts. The number two thing they're asking for is pickleball courts. And then, the other big item was a splash pad over by the pool. In fact, some of them don't even want the pool, they just want the splash pad, right? Now, all this just happens on Friday when I talked to the coach, but I've had this master plan I've been reviewing with Paul Burke, our rec director, probably for the last 2 months. And we were looking at what do we do differently? And we come to the conclusion that we have to have community engagement meetings to talk about what this looks like. And who better to give me advice on the basketball portion of it than our very own basketball coach, who I joke around with Coach Johnson and tell him when he sees my game, he'll never forget it, because I don't have any game, right? I can barely dribble a basketball, I'll be honest with you. But it's amazing. I just want to see these kids have the opportunities, and to hear what he says is exactly what I'm thinking a lot of times. You need two things. You need money. You need lots of money to do some of the things that this very plan wants you to do, right? It takes millions and millions of dollars to reconstruct these parks the way they put in this plan. And it would be great if we had millions and millions of dollars to do it. But the fact of the matter, we don't have that kind of money. And when Coach Johnson tells me, this area here is beautiful, you don't even have to do much to it, it's not going to cost a lot, he has my interest right then and there, because I want to know from a taxpayer standpoint, from me being a taxpayer, how can I best utilize the tax money that's being spent? And if it means doing that, putting in the pickleball courts, to the point that the coach was making about the skate park. There's only like 4 to 6 people that utilizes the skate park. And I said, I've been there and I've seen people utilize it, but they don't even live in Garfield Heights. And sure enough, while we were there, some guy comes up and he's probably in his late 30s, late 20s, early 30s. And he's riding a skateboard on our skate park. And where's he from? Cuyahoga Heights. He grew up in Garfield Heights, and that was his stomping grounds, and he knows it's still there, but he's the only one using it. And yet I've got a whole community of people saying, I want pickleball courts, I want this, I want that. And I think it's time that we need to look at putting that in place. And there's a lot of discussion that needs to happen in order to do that, but it can happen. And so I want to lean on the rec committee for the council. Let's put a meeting together and let's have a conversation. But I will say this, and I want to thank you all for coming out from Ward 1, because I had a discussion with Councilwoman Collier about when we do public engagement, where are the people at? And I kind of challenged her, and she delivered. And I'm going to tell you, nobody represents their ward better than Stacy Collier in Ward 1. But my point is, we need to make sure that when we have these meetings, especially when it comes to recreation, especially when it comes to the youth, that we have everybody coming out to support this. Because I don't feel comfortable in making a decision when it comes to recreation on few people inputting, ideas when we have 30,000 residents. And to be fair, I mean, we'll do what people want. It's not what I want. It's not what Milko wants or even Paul Burke. It's what the people in the community want. And that's what's important, is that we do what they want. Just on another thing, I was in Washington, D.C. last week. I spent 2 days at the White House with members of the Biden administration and other mayors, going over a bunch of different programs that are available. One of the things that they pointed out was when President Biden took office, he worked with Congress. They came out with the ARPA, the ARPA funds, bipartisan infrastructure, the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Program. One of the things about all four of those programs, with the exception of maybe the CHIPS Act, because you have to be a real big city in order for that to really benefit you. But this was the first time in history that a lot of money go to the local municipalities from the federal government. And they wanted to make sure we knew that there's these programs out there, programs like Atifia. Well, we sit here and brainstorm and talk about streets and where are we going to get funding. And here there may be a federal opportunity for us to take a low interest loan in order to fix some of our infrastructure in our streets. And that's something we're going to look at. A couple of things that they talked about, CDBG grants. We get those every year. And what do we use them on? Our parking lot. We fix concrete throughout our city-owned areas. But there's a branch of that we can possibly grab money for that will help residents, low-income people, be able to fix a roof, put new siding on, do some windows. These are programs that, people ask me about, and I'm glad to hear that the federal government level is looking to do this, and that's all because of Marcia Fudge, to be honest with you. Fellow Clevelander, she's the secretary of HUD, and she basically, this is something that she put together, and we need to utilize it, and that's the reason why I don't think anybody in this office has ever gone to Washington and sat with the people in the federal government to find out. The reason why I feel strongly about it, it doesn't cost that much to go, but to get this information and literally be able to use it to benefit our city is big. I found out Solon, Beechwood, Pepper Pike, which, they complain that they can't get money because they're not a low-income community. Westlake, again, all these players that I always talk about, they have people that they pay $8,000 a month. Their job is to go out and find federal grants, $8,000 a month, a company that does that. And we can't afford $8,000 a month, but we can definitely afford to go look at this and make the contacts. Another thing they talked about was cybersecurity, not to scare everybody, but last year alone, the United States experienced over $1.2 billion in ransomware attacks. These are attacks on private and public entities, but the majority of this attack was on hospitals, on our hospitals. And those attacks come from countries like Russia and China. They're looking to raise the minimum measures and the regulations of cybersecurity. The Coast Guard is now able to respond to cyber attacks. And one of the things they're going to come out with is a cyber trust mark. When you buy an appliance, you see this Energy Star rating. Well, you're going to see a cyber trust mark rating. And it's going to be on things like your Ring door camera, your internet router, your Chromecast. Right now, they don't know if this Ring door camera, if they're monitoring you or watching what goes on around us, because technology, they can hack into that. And it really disappoints me because I just got Ring camera for my house, right? And I'm thinking now, are they watching me? But if they're watching me, let me tell you, they got a problem. Because I'm never home really, but there's a new office that they put together called the Office of Gun Violence. I got to applaud them here. There's 4 federal strike forces that have been put together to stop gun traffickers. And they're talking about creating an awareness program, an accessibility program, and an accountability program. And the thing that they're talking about accountability is holding parents responsible for when their child gets a gun and uses it the wrong way. And we've seen a huge rise in juvenile gun violence throughout the entire nation. The only other thing I have on here is I wanted to remind everybody that tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of fun. Cuyahoga County is coming here with a member from their scam squad. It's the Cuyahoga County Department of Consumer Affairs. And I'm co-hosting this with Mayor Blackwell. So you'll see maybe some Maple Heights residents here as well to this community town hall. But we really felt that a need to really showcase to you what some of the scams are out there and what to watch for. Because if we can help prevent somebody from getting, taken advantage of, we'd like to do it. And it doesn't cost the city of Garfield Heights anything but time and space. So come on out tomorrow at 6:30 to 8 p.m. right here and check out the Scam Squad. Let me get into tonight's legislation. There's a whopping 2 pieces of legislation. I would imagine that my report is going to be longer than voting on this, but resolution number 6, 2024 is recognizing March as National Women's History Month, and particularly March 8th as International Women's Day. And then resolution number 7, 2024 is just to provide that the council go into summer session. International Women's Day on March 8th, we actually celebrated it here in the building with our employees, and we had a blast. Rose and Jen Duber and a few of the people put that together, and it was a fun time. So with that, you have my report.
Mayor, I want to thank you for your report. Prior to me going to the other directors and law director, I'd like to make a comment to add on to what the mayor was talking about when we talked about basketball in the city of Garfield Heights. Not only did the mayor receive a phone call from Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson initiated a phone call and called me up and said, hey, what are we doing? What I surprised him with is that on that Thursday, I had already went to Granger Road, where our tennis and skateboard court is, and I took pictures. And one of the things I wanted to do was come back and talk to Mr. Paul Burke about maybe at some point in time in the future, we might want to look at where we could build a brand new recreational center here in Garfield Heights. And I thought that area and space was so large that the parking lot itself could host the building of a brand new facility. And too many times while we're here in our city, we always accept we don't have the money, while other places like Westlake and some of the other bigger cities than us, they continue to build things. Well, I'm here to say to you, we got to stop thinking like we're poor, that we can't afford it, and that we're afraid to go to the voters and say, hey, look, we may need to ask you, if you want that brand new senior center, we may need your help. We might have to raise taxes. Since I came to council, that's the biggest threat to all the council members. They're afraid to ask the people that lives here for money. Well, it takes money to do these things. If you want to be a top-notch community, we're going to have to pay. And unfortunately for us, we just happen to be in a high tax bracket. But at the same time, I just wanted to add on to the mayor's comments is that Sonny found out that this councilman was already down there looking at that spot. And I sent him pictures. I said, hey, I'll send you something. And he took it upon himself to contact the mayor, and they both went down there and took a look at that. But there's something that's been heavy on my mind because for years now, we have been seeing our kids with nothing to do. That's been the biggest complaint since I came to council 3 years ago. is that our kids don't have anything really to do. With that note in mind, I'm gonna stop my preaching because I don't wanna hold us any longer than what I have. We're gonna move right along.
Can I add 2 comments to what you just said, sir? Mr. I just wanna,
Councilwoman Collier.
I just wanna throw this out there. Mr. Johnson, for the last year and a half, have you been looking through Ward 1, trying to find a place to put some, a basketball facility?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Collier. Is there any other reports from any of our directors or from our law department?
From the law department, real quick, I gave part of my report already in the caucus meeting, so I won't give that one again. In terms of, just one of the resolutions is a National Women's History Month in March 8th, International Women's Day. I want to personally say happy International Women's Day to the ladies here on the council as well as the audience. And also to Coach Johnson, congratulations on the team's success. If you want a Serbian guy, a sharpshooter, 40%. Granted, I was only 2 for 5, but it's still 40% behind that. Just wanted to say, throw that out there, Coach. I'm from the same country as Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP. Just throwing it out there, Coach. That concludes the law department's report. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Milko. Appreciate that comment. At this time, Mr. Tyler Hill, do we have a report from?
No, I have nothing to say to follow that awesome report that our law director just did, so no.
Thank you again, sir. Appreciate that. We will move right along with our, is there any communications from our citizens on the agenda for tonight? Thank you, sir. We have no comments on our agenda for tonight. We're gonna move right along with our ordinances and resolutions. We're gonna do them a little bit differently tonight. It'll be our first time, but it shouldn't be a problem. So we're gonna move right into our ordinances and our resolutions at this time. Will Council Clerk, please.
Okay, resolution number 6, 2024, sponsored by Councilwoman Dr. Tanisha Mack, co-sponsored by all of council. A resolution recognizing March as National Women's History Month and March 8th as International Women's Day for the city of Garfield Heights.
President,
Dr. Mack.
I would like to make a motion to consider by title ordinance 06/2024.
Can I have a second on?
Second.
It's been so moved in second that we accept. Can I get a
Mr. President,
yes, ma'am?
Mr. President,
Yes.
do you want me to make a motion to suspend the
Yes.
rules? Or no?
No, not at this time. We're gonna move, it's been moved in second. We're gonna vote on that. Now that it's been moved in second, and from this day going forward, you will see how this goes. We're gonna continue to do it that way. So at this time, we're gonna move it. I'm gonna get a second. You got a second, right? All in favor, say yay.
Yes.
Any opposed? None opposed? Now we'll go into your next one.
It's on you.
Councilwoman Mack?
So would you like me to make a motion to suspend the rules?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
At this time, can I get a second to move that we suspend the 3 reading rules?
Mr. President, I'll second that.
It's been moved in second.
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilwoman.
I would like to make a motion to.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, we have to do a vote. I know it's different, everybody, but we're gonna get there, trust me. At this time, it's been so moved in second of the suspension of the 3 reading rules. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? None opposed. Now we'll go into for your waiver.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Mack.
I would like to make a motion for waiver of Rule 24.
It has been so moved, a motion for waiver of 24 by Councilwoman Mack. Can I get a second? It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Narone. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? None opposed. On council, I'm sorry. Can I get a roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Mack?
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Coniston,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. Nerone. Yes. Ms. Collier.
Before I say yes, I would like to say that this council is living history. This is the first minority council, and this is the first time that we've had 4 women on council. With that, I say yes.
That passes 7-0. Now let's give this another run through, everybody.
Resolution number 7, 2024, sponsored by Mayor Matthew Burke. A resolution providing for only one council meeting to be held on the second Monday during the months of May, June, July, and August 2024.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to consider by title Resolution Number 07-2024.
It has been moved by Councilwoman Townsend for Resolution 07-2024. All in favor, say yay. I need a second. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
It's been so moved in second. Can I get all in favor, say yes?
Yes.
Any opposed?
Yeah, no. No.
One opposed.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
It has been so moved to suspend the consideration for suspension of the 3 reading rules by Councilwoman Townsend. Although, can we get a second to accept her motion? It's been so moved and second by Councilwoman Narone. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed?
No.
One opposed.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to waive Rule 24.
This time a motion been made for a waiver of the Rule 24 by Councilwoman Townsend. Can I get a second, please?
Second motion.
It's been so moved and second by Councilman Smith. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed?
I abstain.
One abstention. On call for a roll call on the adoption, beginning with Councilwoman Townsend.
Ms. Coniston,
Yes.
Mr. Kelly,
No.
Ms. Nerone. Yes. Ms. Collier.
I'm voting, before I vote, I'm just gonna say, we end up having 2 meetings most times anyway. So yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes. That passes 6-1.
And if I can just add real fast to what Ms. Collier said, so during summertime, it's actually very customary for most public bodies to meet once a month anyways throughout the whole year, not just in other months. There's always, obviously, if something urgent comes up, it's not a problem to call a special meeting, as Ms. Collier pointed out. Oftentimes we'll meet more than once anyways. This is sort of just to give us the flexibility because it tends to be a little bit slower. As you see tonight, we only have 2 pieces of legislation. None of them are really on spending money either. As summertime comes, that tends to be more frequent, at least my experience. As you all know, I've dealt with school boards the last 10 years, and it's very customary for them to meet once a month, and oftentimes not even at all during summertime. So it's this is not anything out of the ordinary. If it needs be, we'll definitely call for additional meetings, just as a point of clarification so the council's aware, as well as the public too. So thank you.
And if I may add,
Councilman Kelly.
my abstention or my no vote, well, traditionally, when we get to this piece of legislation, I always vote no anyways. There's too many things happening in the city on a daily basis. And while it is true that, we have more meetings or we'll schedule meetings, committee meetings, whatever, when everything is happening and you got somebody calling you, your residents are calling you about, hey, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? Well, in your next meeting, are you going to be able to talk about this? Well, I'm sorry, we already had a meeting last week. We're not scheduled to meet again until next month. you know, when you have those kind of conversations, you know, residents flip out. So I know we normally have our committee meetings and then we'll schedule a special meeting. If there's anything to talk about, we'll schedule a special meeting. And I don't know how many special meetings we actually, you know, schedule. We've done them, but we haven't really, you know. So I just customarily just vote no, because things is happening in the city every day. So I just, you know, I don't want to, you know, there's no tension up here. I don't want anybody to think that. At least not on that issue.
Well, first of all, Councilman Kelly, we thank you for your concern. Again, it's the law, the record, Milko has pointed out, that if something does come up, and it has in the past, we have immediately called for a session for the council to meet. And we will continue to do so in the very near future. At this time, we're going to move along with our comments by citizens on tonight, please. Council Clerk.
Comments shall be restricted to any problem a resident has which had previously been submitted to his or her councilperson or to the City Hall Department directly involved. If submission of a problem to a City Hall Department or councilperson is made and there is a lack of service rendered in this regard, the problem may then be presented during comments by citizens at a future meeting. It is the intention of this rule that no request of a first nature is presented on the floor at this time. Comments shall be limited to 5 minutes. No citizen shall be heard more than once.
Okay, we have 2 individuals tonight that would like to make comments. And the first one will be from our former council president himself, Michael Nenovich.
Mr. Mayor, Director, Council President Johnson, members of council. Good evening.
Good evening.
I had reason to drive around a little bit. As the snow's starting to melt, things are cleaning up a little bit. The condition of our city is, especially in Ward 3, is going down quite rapidly. I spoke with our councilman, Mr. Smith, about the corner of Warner Road. He did take care of it, did it in a very timely fashion, and I thank you for that. He moved on it quickly. It reminded me of myself there for a while. But
You are a good coach.
But I'm there to help you anytime you are. But we've got people that don't understand that there are rules in Garfield about the conditions of property, your trash cans, they're leaving them on the street. And I can't count them today because I usually go out Thursday, take a look. There's 7 homes that leave them out there permanently on the inside, on the curb, but in the street. Burley's had a mattress up there for 6-8 weeks. The lot next to that new bar on Warren Road, they use the empty lot that belongs to, I don't know who owns it, but because it's changed hands several times. Cars just drive over. The neighbors get to look at ruts, garbage thrown out of the cars, and it's sad. It's sad. I know we have a larger staff, I believe, in the building department than when you were on council and I was on council here. But I think it's up to the council people to go out there and do a little spin about and take a look and see what's going on. And go knock on the door of the building department, like I used. They hated it. They tried to lock the doors for me a couple times. But I think we got to get out there more and start cleaning up our city. It's starting to look like hell. And Warner Road, it's a gateway to our city. You come up from Cleveland, you come up from Valley View, Independence, you come up Warner Road, you're looking at fences laying down, you're looking at garbage in the street. Warner Road is one big mud hole. We roll our windows up on a good day, coming up Warner Road so the dust from the street doesn't come in the car. You can get your car washed, drive up Warner Road or down Warner Road, you got mud. I know it's been addressed that the police department was supposed to start citing cars for doing that, and I thank you for that, I really do, because I did see them do it in 2 trucks. They were coming out of that cement crushing place. That's another thing I'll kind of talk to you about sometime. We'll make it a point to speak, Mr. Mayor. I get it. But, I'd like to talk to them about that. But the condition of the city, we gotta start cleaning it up. We gotta get out there. And these pop-up car lots and things, it's just making the city look terrible. I don't know where, I don't wanna order it too long. I just wanna get, I wanna put it out to you, Mr. Smith, I will work with you on whatever you need. I appreciate the job you did. You did it. I hate to say this, faster than I did. So, and I commend you on that. You did a great job in that corner. It looks great. You cleaned up the tires in the back. You got the ugly siding things. You had to put covers on. I thank you for that. You did a great job, and I applaud you. But council, anytime I can help you, any of you, anytime, I'm willing to help. I don't know how long I'm going to be in Garfield. Maybe a year, maybe another year. But like I said, I would like to see more concentration on cleaning up the streets and the properties, the trash cans, the cars parking on the front lawn, the garbage laying on the front porch. Not one bag or two, but 10 and 20 bags, But, and like I said, I concentrate on my ward because that's where I live. But as we go through the city, you find this becoming more and more prevalent. And it's like an epidemic. It's starting to move up into the wards that are before the bridge. It's going to come after the bridge too. So I thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments.
Mr. President, if I could just say, hey,
Mayor
Mr.
Burke?
Yanovich,
Mr. Denovich?
Oh, I'm sorry.
nice to see you again. I try to get the court community out there. So if there's any place you see, just send, give me a call, let me know, because court community service is trying to get to everywhere. I know when this time of year, as well as I do.
Yes, it's terrible.
It's the
It's the
winter's
snow
over
condition,
and it's everywhere, so we're trying to do our due diligence. But I appreciate you coming up. Nice to see you again. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Excuse me, former councilman, I have a question for you. Can you clarify? It's been a problem before the bridge. Where is that? I need some clarification as to where this garbage is before the bridge.
Well, just to say it like it is, wards like 2 and 3, those are rental wards. And we're getting more renters in there that don't own the home, they don't care. Like they did before. Grandma lived downstairs, the kids lived upstairs, and took care of the problem. The bridge I'm talking about is the bridge over the 480.
Okay.
That's the bridge I'm talking about. It seems this light is moving in that direction. And it is a place. It's garbage being thrown, pizza boxes laying in the street, busted bottles, and that's what I'm talking
I
about.
just need to clarify which bridge you were talking about. Thank you, sir.
Apple News Plus audio stories are now available.
We will bridge that gap over there.
That's right.
Mr. President, if I may just inject here.
Yes, sir.
First of all,
Councilman Smith?
I appreciate Mr. Penovich's comments. Some of it, and I'm finding it because I've been out in the community, is just a lack of education. The tire individual he had no idea he was even violating anything.
Yes.
And just a brief conversation with him. How you doing? Shaking a hand and letting him know, listen, can you just give me a little hand here and help me out? So that's been a big part of me in getting out into the community and just sharing and talking with some of the business owners, letting them know. It was an individual right up on Garfield Boulevard, literally, in fact, I commented on it a few weeks ago, had no idea that Kimball would not accept her rubbish. It was a piece of something, furniture. It was about 5 feet or so. Had no idea, and literally left it there for about 3 weeks because she thought that they were going to take it. I just a conversation with them. It was gone in the next day or so because she just didn't have any idea. So I thank you for that, and valid point. If we as council simply get out there, have conversations, not a conversation to escalate, but a conversation to de-escalate, I think we'll see some movements there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Smith. At this time, we have Ms. Dora Houston.
Your name's on, they'll call you. That's the mayor requested you.
Mayor, council people, and my name is George Houston. Been in the city of Garfield Heights for 10 years.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead, please, I'm sorry.
Ever since I was a kid, I'm 82 now.
Yes, ma'am.
And went to Garfield, children went to Garfield, grandchildren went to Garfield, great-grandchildren went to Garfield, and so on and so on. But the problem I had talked to my council person about was all the truck depots in Ward 1. Years ago, we had signs that no through trucks. No more signs. So I don't know what happened to them. They took them down or whatever. And I remember when, I don't know what the judge's name was, when, people that's been in the neighborhood for a long time, especially on Orchard, where they had trucking business over there. She made them put up the gates and everything for the trucks, for them. I don't know. He said after all these years, they decided to make us put up gates. But now that the other truck depots that's in the neighborhood, they don't have up the gates, especially down Broadway. And if you come over there and look, then we got big car dealers, trucks, transporting cars on Ohio and on Dressler and on Osborne. And, I don't know if the streets is made for heavy equipment like that. So, and just like the other gentleman said about things is going down, and the trash and everything, that's what's happening in our ward too. So, and another thing, what the mayor was talking about with Coach Johnson. How come we don't have a Boys and Girls Club in our city?
We do, we have Boys and Girls Home. And actually, they are going to be opening up an indoor basketball facility.
No, I'm talking about a Boys and Girls Club.
Wait,
Like the Boys and Girls Club
Yeah,
on Broadway.
Usually those are 501c3s, ma'am, and that's something that's a nonprofit organization. So if somebody wants to start one up, they can here in Garfield Heights, but it's not up to the city to be able to do that. Against our charter, we can't put taxpayer money towards that.
Well, we used to have the community center up at Roosevelt.
Because it was a 501c3.
No,
It was a company that did that.
that's not true. Before it was that private company, it was a city-ran community center. So
With city funding,
with city funding, yeah.
probably violated the ORC. Maybe that mayor could have went to jail for that, but this one isn't going to take a chance.
Well-
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Okay,
It was,
your point has been duly noted, Ms. Houston. I think that those are things that we have to take into consideration. That oversized vehicles running up and down our roads is unacceptable because it damages the roads. That trashing of the streets is not acceptable either. And that is something that we as a council, we're definitely going to take a hard look at. And we're quite sure that we're going to get more feedback on that in the near future. So I do appreciate you bringing that to our attention as well. Thank you, ma'am, so much. At this time, there is one other person that did put his name down to speak tonight again, and that is Mr. Sonny Johnson. At this time, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, man, not again. This is my time, but Mayor called me up.
Yes, I understand. I understand that point. Correct.
Mayor got me right.
this was,
Thank you. I just want to say, I talk a lot, so don't mind me, okay? But I want to say this, Mr. Johnson, This is entertaining. I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't been, I usually cover y'all, fight the team up, but this is good. I mean, this is good. I mean, I've enjoyed myself, I can tell you that. But, I want to just say this is what I wanted to say. Stacey, we've been talking for years. I want to make sure that about trying to get stuff we've been called. I don't want nobody to not, please know that. I mean, for you, you've been calling, trying to find me buildings. Okay, and I'm gratefully appreciative to that. And, you know, we talk about that, it's a lot about the money and getting people that really want to invest in it. Ms. Johnson, you've been talking to me as well. We just started talking a lot about what's going on, but what we saying is, this is the only thing I'm saying. I would like y'all to, if y'all probably already have, if y'all, when you leave here, go out there and look at what I've seen. I just couldn't believe it. When I'm saying, it's I don't think it costs much money. Like the stuff you want to do and what we're talking about doing, we're gonna have to get a lot of investors and get a lot of money. Mr. Johnson, that's a lot. When you go out there right now, and it's just not forget basketball, okay? Just the stuff you can do out there for these kids. I'm talking about volleyball nets. I'm talking about a couple of courts. I'm talking about taking up the skateboard. Putting, what is it, Mayor? You said the pickleball. Now that's already, you take that skateboard ring up, it's already gated in because pickleball is not for the kids. When I say that right now, most of the people, let's be real, playing pickleball, a lot of the adults right now. And that's who's playing pickleball. Kids are not playing pickleball. So at the end of the day, especially the kids right now in Garfield Heights. Okay, so, but if that's something for the adults to do, it's already gated. You take up the skateboard area. That's what adults don't have to be around the kids. They're separate from the kids. If they want to play pickleball, that's right there. But when you go out there right now, I'm telling you right now, you can take a little money and fill in some of the cracks. I'm telling you, and put up 2 hoops right now. Don't keep line them. Kids can go out there and play right now. That's how much money we're saving. If you just go, please go look and see. Is that something it's a easy. That's why I'm saying it. Like that's what I'm saying. That with all of our ideas, that's gonna take. You know, I done talked to the Cavaliers one time. I done talked to like multimillionaires to try to invest. I think I met with Mayor Clovo with people and brought millionaires to him and sat with them and tried to see how much money they would donate to put courts inside the rec center and things like that. But when you look at what's out there right now, I want to say all of our ideas is great, but that's a fix that can be done within a month or 2. So that's the only thing I was saying.
We agree.
Okay. I appreciate y'all. Council.
I'm glad we're so entertaining.
There's a lot going on, it's good. You know, enjoy myself, everybody.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right, no, I don't know, Mr. President.
Mayor Burke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to add something for the entire council as well as the members of the audience. In terms of the comments by citizens, we appreciate these as well. One thing I would urge everyone in the public, really when you look at our ordinances, comments by citizens are supposed to go to the council folks first. So I think this is going to be more productive. If you do have an issue, reach out to one of your council members or your respective board, which I know that you do. I'm not saying that you guys don't. I'm saying I think it makes, because then we're able to hear from them as well. And then, because we shouldn't be using, I'm not saying that we did this tonight, we should not be using the meeting section for the first time we hear issues. We want to start working on those problems right away for you guys. Of course, if nothing's being done down the line, then come bring it to our attention for the entire city council. So I'm just saying, encouraging you to do what you've been doing already. I'm not saying that anyone's not doing this, but reach out to the council people and so they can begin working with you. We can start this process even earlier. So, you know, the mayor isn't here for the first time tonight, or myself, or the building commissioner as well. We're already then taking some steps to hopefully remedy these issues that we're having in the city. That's all I want to just encourage you guys to do. Thank you.
Mr. Milko, just so you are aware, because you are new, you might not be aware of where we are with this trucking in Ward 1. At one point in time, so Mr. Talon.
Point of order, Councilwoman Collier.
Yes.
For time's sake, I'm just reminding you, time's sake, please.
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
So,
Ms.
Mr.
Lane.
Hill, just so, yes, sir. So is aware, and he has been citing, we have some illegal trucking businesses in Ward One. Mr. Hill, he's been working on it, the police have been working on it. I have proposed a moratorium, on, container trucks in Ward One, which your predecessor said there was no need for because the companies were illegal. So the issue that she's bringing forth has been ongoing, and we're trying to work to get rid of these illegal companies that are doing business. There's several illegal companies doing business in Ward One at this time that I inherited, so we're trying to get rid of them. I just want to make you aware.
I appreciate that. I'm not taking a jab at anybody. I'm saying, I think we're just, my goal, at least as a law director, within my own department, as well as the city, I want us to be as efficient as possible in things that we do. We understand that sometimes as government people, we don't always get the greatest name. The private sector doesn't sort of right now. We want to be efficient here. We want to do good things. We want to be respectful towards our citizens and those that you come up here. It's just easier for us once we kind of hear it already to get jumping on things, rather than hear it for the first time. And this has been brought up, so I appreciate that you guys. That's what I'm trying to.
Thank you. Thank you, Law Director, Mr. Milko. I stand corrected, Councilwoman Carter, that was your residence, and you did not get a chance to respond to her after she had finished speaking, so I do apologize for that. I stand corrected. That was very well pointed out that you have been working on these issues.
Mr. President, just so you know, I mean, we do a lot to try to deter this. Talon is new as well, but he has been on it. And I'll case in point, okay, we have the area that in Ward 1, and we have the Kmart building in Ward 7, or maybe it's in Ward 5, right? And there was trucks parked in both. We sent the same owners, the same piece, the same correspondence, but the one in Ward 7 removed the trucks. The one in Ward 1 didn't. So, it's a process, and we go through this process all the time. We try to do our due diligence. They don't move, they get cited. It's plain and simple. And we've threatened both of them. I had to threat, and let me tell you, the Kmart building, that's the owner of Highland Park. So you threaten that guy, and he may pull out Highland Park, and then where are we at? Back to square one, right? But it's how you do it. And I was respectful to him, and he was respectful to me, and he was able to remove it. So, and then detail some other things that he may have coming in there, which is great to hear. But just so people know, we do our due diligence here. It's a process, and we try to get it done. But not everybody is as cooperative as other people. So I appreciate all the comments, and we'll continue to work hard to get those trucks out of there. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor Burke. At this time, we're going to move our meeting over to our miscellaneous business. That concludes our comments by citizens. So we'll move right along to miscellaneous business. And we'll begin today with Ward 1.
I was gonna say Councilwoman Narone, but I was glad to take it. Prayed over what I was going to say. First, I would like to remind everybody of the Ward 1's annual Easter egg hunt that will be the 30th at Forestdale Park. I want to say thank you to Mr. Burke and also the service department for doing a cleanup of the park right away to make sure that it's being prepared. They do a very good job of keeping Forestdale Park together, and I appreciate that. Also, a reminder that we're doing baseball in conjunction with Maple Heights Baseball League. Just so you are aware, Mr. Johnson, majority of the baseball players that are playing in Maple Heights Baseball League are from Garfield Heights, so baseball is still alive in the city of Garfield Heights. Promises made, broken, Road to Calvary, Roosevelt Community Center property. Let's talk about Evo trying to put a 100 house in a all residential community, which the planning board was willing to okay. Thank you, Ward 1, for coming out and stopping that. Former Councilman Dudley was kind enough to announce that they want to put 11 houses on the Roosevelt site. We appreciated that, so we could stop that. Let's talk about the Lidos in the church that took over Garfield Community Center, that because they mortgaged it to the hilt, it is no longer there for the citizens. Let's talk about how fire station number 1, the old fire station number 1 on 131st Street, where seniors used to play pinochle, was sold by former Councilman Dudley to Church God. It's owned by God. So I had to tell the service department, you gotta be the one to cite God, not me. That's on you. So it has been open since it was sold. I'm saying all this to say that for years, the citizens of Ward 1 have been given hope and then having it snatched away. Mayor, when you told me that you wanted to see or hear from the citizens of Ward 1 about what they wanted at Roosevelt, do they want community space at that Roosevelt site? I told you I would fill this hall with Ward 1 residents. This is last minute call to arms the day before. I love my ward, and I love that you all come out to fight for what is best for Ward 1. I appreciate you. And if we need to fill every venue every time to make sure that our voices are heard on this side of the bridge, we will do that. That concludes my report for this month, and thank you. God bless all the women for Women's History Month. Ladies, I applaud you.
Moving right along, we'll have comments by Ward 2, Councilwoman Mack.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out this evening. Reminder, Ward 2, Garfield Heights Community Club meeting on March 23rd from 2 p.m. to 3:30 at the Garfield Heights Library in Meeting Room B. I would like to thank everybody for supporting the National Women's History Month resolution. And I would like to say on behalf of the resolution that as a city councilwoman, I'm honored to acknowledge National History Month, National Women's History Month, and pay tribute to the extraordinary contributions of women around the world and throughout history. From pioneering leaders who paved the way to gender equality, to ensuring heroes who tirelessly advocated for their communities. Women who have played a pivotal role in shaping our society. As women who have faced numerous struggles like myself, I understand the resilience and determination that's required to overcome obstacles. This month serves as a tribute to the tenacity, strength, and endurance of spirit women across the globe. Reflecting on my own journey, I am reminded of the profound words I hold dear to myself, which is, I had to learn to be stronger than my battles. This quote represents in essence to our countless women who, in the face of adversity, have embraced their struggles and catalysts for strength and growth. As we honor the legacy of women this month, let us continue to uplift, empower, and advocate for a future where every woman's story is recognized and celebrated. Furthermore, let us collectively acknowledge the achievements, contributions, and unwavering determination of women everywhere, acknowledging the transformation and the impact that they bring to the communities and society as a whole. I would also like to say, talking as educating when it comes to people leaving trash in the community, it is a big problem. I've received so many phone calls. I've had people have to step in when I was out. Thank you, Councilman. It's been a big issue, and now that the weather is getting warmer, it's been a big issue with a lot of people playing their music like really loud. I keep getting calls about it. I don't know what could be done. I don't know if they're ticketing. I did reach out to GK email, so hopefully I hear something back soon. And that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to comments from Councilman Smith, Ward 3.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for your attendance, those that are out in our cyber world as well. I am thankful to you to be engaged here. Very briefly, there's a story that immediately comes to mind where a child was asked what his name was, and he said, "My name is no, no, no." The child had been told no so many times that all he knew was no, no, no. What are you saying, Smith? We are talking about individuals, youth who have nothing. We keep telling them no, 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 but we're not giving them anything. So I've heard the comments here, and that is what we definitely need to do, is give them something to do. I have made an effort to engage, and I heard the mayor already indicate the Girls Hope, Boys Hope. Yes, it is. It's a nonprofit organization. It's its own entity. However, they have a full-blown basketball court within there. They have a football field over there, and they're willing to engage with the community, with the political aspects. In fact, the mayor and I have been invited. Council President, I think you need to be engaged there because there's some question as to whether or not it's my ward or your ward, but I feel that it doesn't matter because kids need something to do. Right now, all they think is no, no, no. Well, if you got no, 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 they're gonna find something to do, and if it's devious, so be it. So I'm taking the position that the city of Garfield Heights is on an upswing. Yes, we have some difficulties, but all cities have difficulties. And if we begin to attack it right now where it's at, and we have the opportunity to do so, such as just partnering with a good Girls Hope, Boys Hope, I think that is something that all of us up here need to do, is start engaging. That is my comment for this evening. And again, I thank all of you for your attendance.
Thank you, Councilman Smith. We'll move right along to Councilwoman Townsend, Ward 5.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out, and thank you to those who are watching. I just want to thank our mayor, our city workers and especially Jennifer Duber, our economic development community liaison, for putting together a fun and festive Easter celebration. It was a great time for the children. They had so many fun things to do, and I thought it was a decent turnout for our first year, and I hope next year it's even bigger. But thank you for that. It was great for our community. I just have two I just need you to be aware. I'm sorry, I can't think of what I want to say. Be aware that Garfield Heights is hiring for summer jobs. They're at a rec center. It's for certified lifeguards, concession stand and office clerk. And you can submit a resume online or in person, and you can call for questions 475-7272. Also seasonal grass cutting, you must be 18 years old. That is 7:30 to 3, Monday through Friday. Send a resume to P. Burke, BIRK, at garfieldheights.org, and apply. You can also apply online at garfieldheights.org. I just want to say congratulations to our Garfield Heights basketball team. I'm just proud of you that you're going to play in the regional semifinals, and I wish you all the best of luck on Wednesday. And just go Bulldogs. Yep. And happy St. Patrick's Day and happy National Women's History Month. And I wish you all a good night, and I hope you stay safe. Thank you.
We want to thank Councilwoman Thomas for those remarks. At this time, we'll move over to Ward 6 to Councilman Kelly.
Every time I tell my wife this will be a short meeting.
I did too.
Um, yeah, so it doesn't matter if I go home now. Let's see, where do I start? Okay, it's already been mentioned, but I'll mention it again. Tomorrow's a town hall. Tomorrow, the 12th, at 6:30, correct? 6:30, okay, so town hall tomorrow. Also, the Urban League of Greater Cleveland wanted to promote or make you aware of their record clearance and expungement services. I'm also, well, let me first say this. We can assist with financial assistance for court and filing fees, complete intake and referral services with an expungement manager. They say call us today, 216-622-0992. If you remember, I guess it was sometime shortly after Labor Day, there was so much fuss about the jail, whether it's coming to Garfield or not, and so much roar about that. But I had mentioned then, hey, why don't somebody, you're so focused on a jail and housing and what that facility would be, why don't somebody work on an expungement program? I hadn't heard anything. So I took it upon myself, and I'm dealing with, well, I don't want to say anything. We have meetings set up, so I don't want to say anything until we actually unveil what we're doing through the ministry that I run. But we want to try and do some things with expungement services ourselves. And so we wait to unveil that as we kind of get everything together. So, but in the meantime, the Urban League of Greater Cleveland wanted to make you aware of the services that they want to provide in reference to record clearance and expungement services. In addition to that, let me again, Coach Johnson, congratulations with the team. And I also want to say in regards to recreation, timing is everything. And I say that because this is my second term, but in our first term, I chaired the recreation committee. And one of the things that we talked about is what we were going to do with that vacant space over there. We talked about that. And so everybody was just shooting out ideas, Paul Burke and I, we were just, hey, what we going to do? Hey, we got to do something. But until we actually came up and did this master plan, so it just seems like now is just the perfect time for things happening. And so, sometimes, you just got to be silent. That's why I just sat here. I'm listening to everybody talk. I said, don't nobody even remember. We just talked about this last term. So congratulations. We're just waiting to see, the groundbreaking and just seeing what will actually come to fruition. Because it's time. It's time. Let me see. Other than that, I think our next Neighbors on Duty meeting will be April the 2nd. So there'll be another meeting to actually promote this again. I don't have the guest in front of me, but please, be aware. Our quarterly meeting, we have one on April the 2nd. Lastly, and that would have been last, but lastly, I heard one of my colleagues, I think it might have been Dr. Mack, she brought up about, the weather's breaking and noise and record playing, the music and everything. Again, in last term, I was trying to work with our law department in regards to revamping and looking into our noise ordinance. So Milko, if you and I can kind of, we'll probably have to start from scratch all over again. I kind of hate that, but we were kind of down the road, and there were some residents who I kind of promised some things to. Hey, we're looking, and I don't want to look like a fool in front of them because I actually was doing my part, but I need to get some things to present to my people. So, and with that, I'm done.
Thank you, Councilman Kelly. We'll move right along to Councilwoman Arones, Ward 7.
All right. I'm gonna kind of go through some of the stuff that other people have said. Thank you to Jennifer Duber and her team for the Easter celebration. It was really nice. It was so good to see all the kids out there. And like Rochelle said, hopefully next year will be bigger and better. Happy Women's Day, Women's Month, to all the women out here. Coach Johnson, thank you for coming out tonight. It's so nice, not only that you're our coach, but that you care about this community. We appreciate that, and I look forward to working with you to get something going with this basketball program and basketball courts. Congratulations to you and the team. I look forward to hopefully having you in our Memorial Day parade so they can be celebrated. I also wanted to say congratulations to Trinity's wrestlers. They placed 9th in the state for Division III wrestling, which is something that hasn't happened in a really long time. And they also had 3 of their members place in the states individually. So congratulations to all of our athletes in Garfield Heights. As I mentioned, the Memorial Day Parade, we had a meeting scheduled for the 20th of this month. It has been moved to the 28th. It will still be at 5 o'clock here at the Civic Center. So if you would like to join us to help plan the Memorial Day Parade, or if you have a group that would like to be in it, please join us on the 28th at 5 o'clock. My Block Watch meeting this month will be on Thursday, the 21st. It is moved because of the holiday, so it's a week earlier. It is at St. Monica's Cafeteria at 7 o'clock, and we are going to have Chief K this month, hopefully. That's all I have. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Councilwoman Arones, for your comments. And last but not least, the council president, I get a chance to address our residents. And I can promise you this much, it's going to be real brief tonight. Now, y'all know not to give me a microphone. God bless you. First of all, let me say again to all of my colleagues, especially the ladies on the dais, that you are greatly appreciated. It's an honor. Thank you, Dr. Mack, for bringing this resolution to the council and to our city for us to sign off on Women's History Month, because all of us can think of some great woman in our lives. And I always go back and remember history because I come from great women. My mother and my grandmother, who lived to be 100 years old and was born in the 1870s, raised me until I was 10 years old. So I'm very grateful for our acknowledgement, the role that women play. Please adhere to all of the announcements that my colleagues have made. I will not keep you any longer than that tonight. Please come out to our meetings that are scheduled, our town halls, to your council ward meetings. Please be adherent to those things. And last but not least, don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote. Yes, on March 19th, they begin early voting.
Early voting started.
It's already started. Early voting already started. Okay. But March 19th is the election. All right. So with that note in mind, please again adhere to all the announcements that have been made. Can we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Carter.
I would like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Can I get, it's been so moved by Councilwoman Carter that we adjourn. Can I get a second?
I second.
It's been so moved and seconded by Councilwoman Townsend. All in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? I don't think so. Good night, everybody.
Board One President, before you leave, make sure you sign my petition.
She